Hey everybody. I was thinking about talking about this subject, and as you can probably see on the title there, it's about the cable companies and satellite companies, whatever you want to call them. You see, over the past few weeks, most importantly, during the time frame, if you will, between the time frames of 4 and 7 o'clock, and well, just more importantly, between the time frames of the 4 o'clock hour in the afternoon to about almost 9 in the evening. There have been a few times where my modem, how if you have Comcast or a AT&T Uverse or whatever provider is your provider, you know how if they offer all three services, if they offer all three services, how they provide you with a modem? Well, let me ask you something. Would it or would it not piss you off if, let's say, your modem, like this is my modem here, this here is my modem, provided by Comcast, Xfinity if you will. Would it piss you off to no ends that between the 4 o'clock afternoon hour and the 4 and 9 hours, if you will, that in between those times, that time frame, that for some very odd reason, your modem started to flicker a little bit, and all of a sudden you lost your internet connection, or let's say you're on the phone like this. You're on the phone here, and all of a sudden you're talking to somebody and they just cut out and you hear this beep 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 or something like that. Would that not piss you off if all of a sudden you're going to check your modem wherever it is located in your house, and all of a sudden you're seeing it flashing, and in one of the lights which indicates which has the letters US or the word us under it was flickering back and forth? Would that not piss you off if that happened in between those time frames? Believe me, it pissed me off a few times. Now I can understand if, let's say, like last night I was asleep, I woke up in the middle of the night, got a little bit of a snack, let the cat out so she can go back in the garage and eat and take care of her business and whatever. And also I'm rendering one of my fan vids, right? I'm doing one of my fan vids. I'm finalizing one of my fan vids. So what happens? Well, I'll tell you what happens. And this is very, very crazy in hearing this, but I'll tell you what happens. I end up waking up, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm seeing what I saw a few weeks ago. All the lights are off except for the power button, except for the DS light, and a few others. But then I see the US light flickering. So it makes me kind of curious as to why. Now, again, as to why this happens. Now, I understand that late at night, around the 2 o'clock morning hour, when people are mostly asleep, I can understand they're doing it because they know nobody's going to be using the internet. But what if you have somebody that works late? What if you have somebody that works late, comes home around that time frame, and one of the first things they want to do is check their email, and they can't do it? Now, Now, if you have, let's say, an iPhone or something like that, that's understandable. You don't need the internet because you have the iPhone. But what if you just have your iPod or your iPad or your Kindle Fire, whatever you want to call it, and it doesn't work? And why? Because your internet, your Wi-Fi, your internet is not working. What I'm trying to say, folks, is why in the world does this happen? Why in the world does it happen during the day? I mean, again, if you're somebody that comes home late from work in the morning, late mornings, and you want to be on your internet and it's not working, yeah, that can piss you off. But I can understand that a huge percentage of the time, like say 90 to 95% of that time, or maybe let's say 85% of people are asleep. And I can understand that's the best opportunity cable companies have. But during the day, like between 4 and 9, are you doing the day and evening? I mean, are you serious? Are you serious? I mean, think about it. I have a nephew who has a laptop. He always brings his laptop with him when they visit. How do you think he would feel? How do you think he feels sometimes when the internet just cuts out? And he's wondering what's going on, and then I have to explain to him, oh, by the way, it was only a temporary deal, but it was because of the cable company. I mean, you'd think cable companies would get their act together and realize, oh, you know what, if we're going to do an entire maintenance deal, we should do it late at night. And maybe give people a courtesy notice saying, oh, by the way, or maybe give people a courtesy notice saying, oh, by the way, between the hours of 4 and 9, you might lose your internet for about a few seconds or a minute or so because we're doing maintenance. I mean, come on, folks. I mean, don't you think that would make more sense if they did that? Don't you think it would make more sense? I do. I think it would have made more sense. I think it does make more sense. But it's up to the cable companies. And I'm not trying to say it's just Comcast. I'm saying it's any cable company out there, depending on your region. They have to realize, okay, if we're going to do maintenance, we got to do maintenance either well in advance by letting people know what hours they might be affected in, and two, realize, okay, majority of the time, late at night, that's when we should do it, when people are asleep. But still, do you not agree cable companies need to fix that? Or at least do that? I do. So, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll talk to y'all later.